All right, my dudes, we're back at the condo, and we've got the soy 6 pricing update. So I walked down the 6, got a video, got some little bit of nasty looks. I guess you'll hear about that in the video. One girl actually gave me the finger and didn't say anything, but I just gave it right back to her. So, I'll just leave it there. And I finished filming and then walked back, and I got dragged by a couple of girls towards bars or into bars. And I resisted, saying that, I was on a mission or whatever. And I was looking for a specific girl. And I went to the bar where she used to work and could not find her. And the bar where she did work was pretty lame. It was a Nightwish group bar, and the lady drink was 160. We know room upstairs is 400, and we know that when you're in a Nightwish group bar, that the prices for the girls are $2,000 to go upstairs. Now there's apparently barfines and shit like that. I don't know what that would be in a Nightwish group bar. I don't know if it would be cheaper or more expensive than a non-Nightwish group bar, but we'll get to the rest in a second. So I then left that bar and was gonna look for this one other girl I used to know that worked in Horny Bar, then worked somewhere else, but I didn't quite see her around in any of the videos I've seen of Horny. I haven't quite seen her, so I'm not sure if she's there or what her deal is. I got dragged into Panda Bar. Now I will assume that Panda is a non-Nightwish group bar. Lady drinks were 160 again, I believe. I didn't quite check. My bill was $410, and I bought her 2 and I had 1. Or was it four? It was $415. Not that that matters, but I'm just trying to be accurate. While I was talking, she dragged me in, so she was quite interested in me. Yeah. She was a little bit pompoy. Now, it doesn't matter where she was from and all that. We'll just get to the meat of the dinner. And the meat is that she opened with, I want to go to your hotel, I want to do things with you, whatever, let's go. And I was like, okay, but it was like 1:45 and the bar was closing at 2 o'clock. And I said, all right, that sounds good to me. And she wrote down the numbers, because it was, we were using some Google Translating. 1,000, 3,000. Actually, she wrote down 1,000 plus 3,000. And I fired back with, oh, okay, I understand that's short time and long time. And she smiled and was like, yes. And I was like, wow, 1,000? That's pretty damn good. Okay, I'm in, no worries. And then she was like, oh, yeah, we'll party and da-da-da-da-da. And then it gets to be like 10 to 2, and she's like, okay, so give me some money. And I'm like, pardon me? And she's like, give me 1,000 for the bar fine. And I was like, what bar fine? And then I realized what her 1,000 and 3,000 now meant. She wanted 1,000 to be bar fined and 3,000 for her time, which I assume was long time-ish. That was not discussed at that moment because it obviously I'm now fully clued into what she was originally saying. And I'd only had a couple beers. It wasn't like I'm not drunk now or, talking to you about it. So I was fully in the game the whole time. But I still didn't, like I said, when she first went to 1,003, she wrote 1,000 plus. There was a plus sign. But I still assumed that she meant short time and long time prices. Well, no. And then when she saw the look of, I won't use the word horror, that was now her pricing, she quickly picked up her phone again and fired back with 500 plus 15 and pointed to upstairs. Which I knew, I said, oh, go upstairs. And she said, yeah, 500 for the room, 15 for me. I'm like, okay. And then she fired back with 1,000 plus 25 on top of the 515. So now she's presenting me with every option. So the 515 is the pay for the short time room, which I always assumed was 4, but between us and the wall, who's gonna bark at 100? You know what I mean? You're gonna call the girl on for 100, or it could end up being your bad where you just don't know that it's 500. So, and the bar was the Panda Bar, by the way, my dudes. So in the Panda Bar, I guess that she wasn't mistaken and wasn't trying to make 100 baht out of me, because there's nothing. Like $3, right? That it's 5 for the room in a non-Night Wish. Again, I'm assuming it's a non-Night Wish group bar because she offered the 15. So we know that Night Wish group bars, room 400, girl 2,000. Non-Night Wish group bars, supposed to be room 400 still, girl 1,500. That's the going prices in both of those quality of bars. So I kind of typed her as like, it's 5 to 2. I really hate paying bar fines when the bar is closing. Like, you guys are wrapping up. I can see it. You're kind of looking at me to pay my check bin and stuff like that as well, which was for, like, what did I say, 420 baht or 415 baht or something stupid. Wasn't very much. So I assume it was 160, 320, and me like 95. Sounds exactly what it was. So she's like, okay, well, which of those two options are better for you? And I was like, you know what? I'm not the biggest fan of the rooms upstairs. I don't know why, because I always got a picture in my head that it's, well used, and probably not the case. The couple times I have gone up to rooms in the past, I didn't this year. The rooms have always been fine. Sure, it's not a king size bed that you would get at a hotel, and immaculate sheeting and all the rest of that other crap, but it's a bed, yeah. Which is why I'd rather bring them out, which is, the soy 6 problem is generally go upstairs. But she hit me right away with the I want to go with you, right? So she didn't want to be taken upstairs versus taken back to the hotel, which she just assumed was a hotel. She doesn't know I'm staying at a condo, but I quickly told her that, yeah, I'm staying at the base. Her face kind of even lit up more. I Googled her, or Google translated to her on my phone. I was like, because, that's how we were kind of talking, was that I can't stand paying bar fines when the bar is closing. She then hit me with, and I had heard this somewhere else the other day, I live here. Because I'd had a conversation with a friend in one of the other bars, and with one of the bar girls who's like our friend, and my friend his name's Alan, and he's from England, and I met him and we did a lot of hanging out at Dynamite, and one of the girls from Dynamite was drinking and hanging with us and being real, and I brought up why is there a bar fine when the bar is closing, because that had happened to me the night before, where the bar owner walked in at 5 to 4 in the morning and basically looked at the girl I was with and said, make sure you get the bar fine. And I almost was like, you gotta be kidding. Like, your bar shuts in 5 minutes, she's off work. Can't she do what she wants? Thank God the bar fine in that particular bar was only $500. I hope I made a video about that, but if I didn't, I'll check and I'll give you some more current pricing with that one, if I didn't already. I may have done some sort of drunken video last night about it. But anyways, I heard that because she lives there, that she could be, and maybe this was specific to the 6 even, or maybe it was everywhere, and because she lives at the bar and got a room at the bar, that if she gets caught out with a farang at all, at any point, like I think this even went as far as like even on her day off, and she's just not allowed to be with the guy which makes no sense to me. I mean, on your day off, that's just gotta be your time. But they said because she lives there, this is what my farang friend was telling me, he's from England, that if she gets seen out, that she can be and probably would be fired for cheating the system type of thing. And when she said she actually went there, she goes, I wouldn't. I mean, I was like, I don't like paying the $1,000, and she's like, I wouldn't ask, but I live here. And then I was like, hey, I've heard something about this I live here thing, that, you can get in a lot of trouble if you don't get a bar fine. And she's like, yes. I guess it means like they expect her up in her room. Again, I'm not sure, because I've seen, and I know many other girls from many other situations that work on the 6 even, and work in other bars, and once work's over, the bar really doesn't care about you. And the manager of Dynamite today was even telling me, he goes, hey, the bar closes at 1 in the morning. If you want to stand outside the doors at 1:01 and stand on the steps and wait for the girls to come out and solicit every one of them comes out, we could care less about bar fines and this and that. As long as she's off work, that now you're on her time and everything's up to her. And I was like, that's the attitude that every bar should goddamn have. Maybe it was him, the manager at Dynamite, that was telling me about this she lives there conversation, because he obviously doesn't swim in his own waters, so he can't do nothing with the girls at his bar. But he obviously does things still, And he was telling me about, he's got a girl on the 6. He's got a couple on soy 7 or something like that too, or whatever. Now, I don't know if he was specifically referencing the 6 again, but I believe now it was him who told me that. About the girl lives there and she can't be seen out with a guy because she could get fired. And like even if she went to Republic or Mist or I-Bar or something like that with some random foreigner on her day off, she's, weirdly enough, I can't even wrap my mind around that fact. I mean, your day off is your day off. But anyways, so that's the info, boys. Oh, and then it got to be a couple minutes to 2. It was 1:57, and she typed on the phone, "I really like you and I want to come with you. 1,000 plus 2,000." And I was like, kind of shaking my head. Not shaking my head, no, but more shaking my head like, don't do that to yourself. You stand your ground, you know, like, don't lower your standards anymore for me, please. And then she hit me with the classic, "Up to you anyways." And I was like, yes, it is up to me. And she was a very pretty girl. She was very pretty, really cute, great kisser. Again, a little chunkier than I would normally. And she wasn't fat, she was just a little chunky. A little chunkier than I normally would go for, but she hit it well. I didn't really notice until we were sitting down, you know. And that's not what prevented me from grabbing her. I'm not I didn't at that point I wasn't sure if her pricing was long or short, and I still wanted to go party at 2 a.m. I said, but I did say to her I want to go to I-Bar or something like that, and she was like, "Oh, I just want to go with you." So it's that, and then she went to the 1,000, 2,000. So it seems to me for this $3,000, that would have been long time-ish for a 6 girl. Now, and I wasn't even trying to negotiate. She just came down on her own. Every time that she saw that I was being apprehensive about her pricing, she'd give it a few minutes and then lower. Go lower, go lower. And as the time got closer to the bars actually closing, she went lower and lower. You can't hear it. There's a girl creeping down the hall. I heard the high heels. All right, my dudes.